Thank you. Yes, I enjoy business and helping people, and my wife has told me, do not make my hobbies into businesses. So I did choose the PCs for People route. So my name is Casey. Thank you for the introduction. I'm the CEO at PCs for People. And PCs for People is a national nonprofit with 10 locations across the US. What we do at PCs for People is sustainable digital equity. And I'm here today to talk to you about our program and an opportunity for large impact across the region. I like to frame this issue into one simple question. I want to ask for a show of hands. Did you send your first email before the year 2014? So as expected, pretty much everyone, you have 10 years of digital skills. Did you send your first email before 2004? Still a lot of people. You have 20 years of digital skills. Has anyone sent their first email before 1988? There were emails then, yes. Anyone? Anyone? We have one hand. What year did you send your first email? Over there we have what year?
1988, I was working for IBM at the time, and they had a worldwide email communication over their office.
And are you good at math? How many years ago was that? So the point of this is just personal context of we think of emails as work, but it's a digital skill. Now imagine you've never sent an email. Do you have the same job that you have today? Probably not. And that's the reality for most of the customers coming to PCs for People. 60% of our recipients have never owned a computer, and perhaps not surprisingly, 58% are unemployed. When I went to college, I volunteered for a county program refurbishing and distributing computers, and it was an eye-opening experience for me. I realized the power of a computer and home internet connection, and perhaps more importantly, the challenges for families without devices and connectivity at home. After college, I was working for Deloitte as an IT consultant, and one day in 2007, I stopped to think, what if I match my technical skills to the social concept of digital inclusion and see if I can get every family a home computer? So 16 years ago, I quit my job and I launched PCs for People in Minnesota. We started with 400 computers, and they were gone in 2 weeks. In 2 months, we had a 1,200 family waiting list. Demand had overrun our supply. We needed to figure out how to create a sustainable social enterprise to meet this huge community need. And that is what we've spent the last 16 years building. My oversimplification of things needed in our modern society is food, shelter, computer. And thanks to George Birdsong and Tom Chamberlain's passionate pitch, I need to start saying food, shelter, health, computer. As you peel back the layers of digital inclusion, it's easy to see why there is need. Broadband is essential for education, communication, economies, healthcare, and the list goes on. Digital equity touches every part of our lives, and at PCs for People, we've been able to help over 500,000 homes get access across our country. Everyone who comes to PCs for People provides a base set of intake questions, like income, employment status, how many kids are in the home. For years, we had one data point, but our internet program required us to get annual data. And this began to tell a story of what happens when a household gets connected. We've found a family sees a 15% increase in income in the first year after receiving our services. So for every 5,000 homes connected, that's over an $8 million aggregate increase for those who need it most in our communities. Just over 1 year ago, John Martin, RVA 757, Richmond and Hampton Road Chambers went on an inner city visit to Kansas City. And one of the tracks was a tour of PCs for People, which is our warehouse pictured there. John, Brian Anderson, Bernard Robertson came back and reached out to me and said, we need a PCs for People in our mega region. I looked up the population of Richmond, and said, can we find the supply of computers to make major impact across the region? I noticed John get really excited, like I had just served up a big softball. And in a calm, matter-of-fact voice, he told me, Casey, we are a mega region. We work with chambers, nonprofits, government entities to get really big projects done. Things we could not do separately, like the Global Internet Hub and widening I-64. Things that lift the entire region. And together, he said, at 3 million people, we can and will support the PCs for People model. I might have still questioned who this compelling stranger was who called me and contacted me over the internet, but it was and still is a very good pitch. The work being done here has massive positive economic impact for the region. But at the same time, 120,000 homes in the mega region lack a home computer or home internet connection. RVA 757 connects, and local leaders were determined to do something about this and wanted a solution that could scale to quickly meet the needs of the region. Then it was my turn to get excited. We spent the last 16 years learning how to scale a service to meet the digital needs of an entire metro, region, or state. When we had a 1,200 family waiting list soon after launch, we rewrote our business plan into a 4-step model: source, refurbish, distribute, and support technology. The first and most critical step is sourcing. When we first started, we asked for donations of computers. And we got 20, 30, 40 computers. But we needed to figure out from a Fortune 500 how to unlock thousands. Today, we're an IT recycler for over 6,000 companies, from nonprofits and small businesses to government entities and Fortune 500s. We deliver a valuable, free, certified recycling service. We're certified for data wiping and certified for recycling. With this service, we don't just take good computers, we take everything. And nationally, we now process more than 6 million pounds of e-waste each year, which is great for the environment and also a workforce development opportunity. Each PCs for People location selects a workforce development initiative to supplement our core mission. Minnesota follows my personal passion, removing barriers for employment for those on the autism spectrum. Step 2, refurbish. Inside our warehouses, we set up a computer factory where we refurbish desktops, laptops, tablets, and phones. Computers are refurbished to like-new condition. They're high quality, since the source is enterprise-grade tech. Computers get a new copy of Windows 11, and they're redistributed at a fraction of the cost you can find elsewhere. Which brings us to the core of our program, distribution. We get tech into homes through 4 channels: retail, bulk partners, events, and online. The first step is proof of eligibility, which is the 200% federal poverty level. Cost is the primary reason why people don't adopt a computer or internet at home, and our program is designed to be retail at a price point people can afford. In store, computers start at free and go up to $150. Internet is as low as $10 per month and is mobile and unlimited. We've found if you can remove the cost barrier and gain local trust, people of all ages and demographics will adopt technology. And finally, support. We provide a tool to families that have never owned it before, so support is extremely important. We're effectively the help desk for over 300,000 computers that are active across our country. And on our busiest day, we receive 1,800 phone calls. And we offer support in English, Spanish, Somali, and Hmong. When I talk about support, I always do a special call out to our customer service team, because if you've ever given or received a support call from a family or friend, you get a little bit of an understanding of what 1,800 phone calls in a day can mean. We also do traditional classroom-style training, from digital literacy to A+ training. This ongoing training and support not only gets, but keeps working computers in homes. We were successful in Minnesota, and in 2016 wanted to see if this model could be replicated. We're now past replication and working on scaling. Our vision is to expand to 18 markets across the US to effectively impact the entire nation. With each new location, our capacity grows. We can serve larger companies, get more tech, and help more people. Our goal is to both collect and distribute tech in at least a 4-hour driving circle to have both urban and rural impact across an entire region. We now have offices in 10 major metros across the US and recently set a record distributing over 650 computers in one day. So over the last 12 months, we've worked with John, the local chambers, community members, and we've been extremely grateful and frankly impressed with the support which has been shown. I'm thrilled to announce today that PCs for People will be opening in the mega region early next year. We've already begun doing IT recycling pickups every other week with our Baltimore truck. Listed is a sample of the first businesses that have scheduled pickups. This is a huge help for us to make sure we have the IT needed to run a full warehouse. So if you have IT recycling, please reach out. We're happy to talk with IT, procurement, legal, or any other teams to describe our process in detail. We're also a 501c3 nonprofit, but one unique thing about us is we aim to be sustainable, both environmentally and financially. After a 2 to 3 year startup phase, we cover our own daily ongoing operating costs, and any additional funding is used to propel programs or impact. We're still finalizing grants and sponsorships, but extremely grateful for the interest and confirmed support. We're nearing our funding goal and expect to hit the goal ahead of next year. But if any foundations, corporations are interested, please reach out. And a big thank you for those who have already confirmed their support. Finally, with 120,000 households in the region that need this service, this is a large-scale problem. Our model is about connecting the resources in a community to have scaled impact. It took us 8 years in Minnesota to deliver our services to 50% of the metro households. Working together, we can hit 50% impact here in significantly less time. Many new distribution partnerships are forming, and a few are listed here, including unique and impactful partnerships, like with Birdsong Health Literacy Center of Excellence and EdLogix. We're excited to open arms to anyone in the digital inclusion industry, from companies to refurbishers like Tech for Troops, trainers, and distribution partners. I'm thrilled to close with a mention of our first big initiative for next year, which will be in partnership with the Virginia Community College System. Thanks to the local support of businesses, funders, chambers, and partners, we'll be supplying 10,000 computers to assure that every freshman entering community college across the state has the technology they need to succeed. Happy to take any questions.
Thank you. Congratulations on your efforts. How do you measure the financial, I think you said the financial advantage of about $5,000 per family when how do you measure that?
It's 15% in the first year. It's self-reported. So 200% federal poverty is the eligibility, and everyone who comes in fills out a self-reported survey and hands us a document that proves that their income, like free or reduced lunch at school. The data is self-reported, and then our systems for everyone who's on internet is required to provide a new report every single year. So originally we had the upfront data point, but now we have the annual, so we can start to see that change in income and employment status over time.
So with the, since the Affordable Connectivity Program was not reauthorized, what are some other resources you're using for home broadband?
I would also say on that first question, one unique thing we do for businesses is provide an impact statement. So when we do a pickup, we do a lot, which tracks back to the business, secure data wiping. The recipients fill out that survey of information, and we can tie the two together. We can say, because you recycled with us, 800 kids got their first ever computer last year, so we can tie that impact back. On the internet side of things, we have a unique partnership through Spectrum holders that operate on the T-Mobile network, and that allows us to do the low-cost mobile T-Mobile internet. We also partner very closely with ISPs. Cox Communications is one of our largest national partners. During ACP, everyone who signed up for affordable internet through Cox was referred to us for a computer. And we continue to offer those partnerships because without having a large screen device, you can't really fully effectively utilize internet. So we have very close partnerships with ISPs as well as our own mobile low-cost internet.
I think we're out of time, but Casey will stick around if anyone else has questions to ask him in a little bit.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.